So you asked me what the duration of a veneer is. I think that's a tricky question. We talk about patients that ask, like, is this permanent or is this going to last me for life? I think the word permanent is a word that's thrown around a lot in dentistry. We are taking away some of the tooth, right? So once we go down that road, there's no going back. So for a lot of patients, I do recommend, like, okay, do you just not like the shade? What is it that you don't like? So for me, it's trying to get a feel of what is it about your teeth that you don't like? Tell me as much about it as you can, right? If it's just the shade, why don't we try some whitening, right? If it's the shape, the way that they're turned, let's try Invisalign. Let's go down as many ways as we can without having to, drill on the teeth as we can. Because once we go down that road, there's no going back, right? And again, you asked the duration, right? How long do they last? I tell this to patients all the time. It depends on how you take care of them, right? So I've seen some that have on people's teeth that have lasted less than 2 years. I've seen some that have lasted more than 30. And I think it depends, on how you take care of them. I think that what we do as dentists is a great service, and we're always going to put the best work in your mouth that we can possibly put in. We won't put something in, Dr. Bonaventure or I will put anything in that we don't fully believe in, right? But I think it also comes down to patient taking care of it at home as well. So a professor told me in school, I'll never forget this, he says, I'm a DDS, not a GOD, right? Nothing that I give you is going to be as good as your God-given teeth that you were given, right? But with that being said, I can do the best I can to give you something that will make you happy. But when it comes to stuff like this, like, yes, like these things can chip, they can break, they can do all those things. We're going to make sure that we can do everything in our power to make sure that doesn't happen. But when it comes to how long do they last, it comes down to patient care as well. The average veneer, the average crown, the average, they have studies that show, the average crown will last, 15 years or so, right? But I don't like giving patients that the statistic because, like, okay, so in 15 years I'll be back in here. Well, not necessarily, because then if they come back in 5 with something broken, they're like, well, you told me it would last me 15 years, right? Or it might last them 30, and like, you told me 15 years, so this is working out great, right? That's the way I want it to work. I want them to always be like, oh, well, you told me 5 years and it's been 20. That's the way that we all want it to work. Right. But I do think that, I think that we will put something in your mouth that we want to last for a very, very long time. We won't put it in unless we think that it's good. So when we put it in, we're going to tell you, like, yeah, this will last as long as you want it to last. And that's what I tell people. So when you ask me the duration, I say it'll last as long as you want it to last, as long as you take care of it. If you do those two, if you take care of it, I think it'll last you as long as you want it to.